Hi everyone, my name is Rhiannon from Blue Dog Board Games, and today we're going to be doing a solo playthrough and final thoughts video on Expeditions by Stonemaier Games. Now, a quick disclaimer, this is marked as sponsored content today, not because I have been sponsored or are being paid to do this video, but I have been given this game by Stonemaier Games with the intention of doing something with it, so hence I am going to be marking this one today as sponsored and producing this content to tell you my real and final thoughts on it. I'm in no way sort of instigated to try and talk positively about this game if I don't like it. I do like this game though, but it definitely does come with some negatives for me, and I will let you know what all of those thoughts are at the end of the video. So if you are unfamiliar with Expeditions, Expeditions is advertised as the Scythe sequel. So Scythe is a very big box game that has been out for a while now by Stonemaier Games as well, and it has a lot of different mechanisms in it, and if I'm honest, I haven't played it for a good number of years now. I did like it when I played it, but I must say I only played it solo and I only played it two-player, and I felt that Scythe was a game that would have been better at higher player counts. I definitely enjoyed my experience of it, but it wasn't one that I felt I needed to rush out and add to my collection. It was not my personal copy. So I really am interested in the whole world of Scythe, and so Expeditions is set in the same world. The story of this one is like set after Scythe. And so what has happened is in Siberia, a meteorite has crashed, and is it Dr. Tarkovsky has led an expedition out to the area to sort of collate information about what's going on, because there's lots of corruption in this area as well. And unfortunately, they have gone missing. We don't know where they are. And the story is that we are ourselves and whoever you're playing against are a team of people wanting to go out and basically gain glory for themselves, as well as try and figure out what's going on and collate information about their various feats and the situation around them. That's the world and the story that it's building. I will say that this is basically a very themeless game. The world it's building is really cool, but that's one of the negatives I'll speak about later, is that I do feel like there's a lot of story here that could be explored, and this is very much a mechanism-based game rather than story. So there's definitely room for some expansion there, I think. But anyway, we're going to be going through straight into the solo playthrough now. I will show you how it all works. It's not a tutorial video, but I will just speak through what I'm doing as and when we go through. So it's all set up, ready to go. So let's get into it. So as you will see, unfortunately, this is another massive game. So it's slightly cut off at the very top, but you won't really need to see them. You might need to see like numbers at the top of them, but if I'm interacting with them at any point, I'll just let you know. What we're interested in though is the northern region is in the blue, and this is being explored by this Automa bot here. We've also got the central region in the brown color, which is being explored by this other black Automa here. And we are yellow today, my player color being yellow. And so we are sort of like off the table at the moment. We're going to be starting from our base, which is this big board down the bottom, which you can't fully see. But there's nothing really on it. This is just where we are putting our stars, our like boasting opportunities, which is how the game speeds along basically. But I'll just tell you what I'm doing when I'm interacting with that. On the Automa's turn, all we're going to be doing is drawing a card and resolving it. We've got a whole deck of cards here, and we've removed 2 of them from this game, but they're going to be like shuffled in as you go through the deck and then remove 2 each time. So you never know for certain what's exactly in your deck on each time you go through it. We're going to be playing on level 2 today. Level 2 is the indicated starter level. I have found that I have won a number of times on this level now. You watch, this is going to be a really bad fail today, but I did progress into level 3 the last time I played it, and I didn't do that well. So I figured let's just stick with the most, like what you would basically see if you are playing this for the first time solo. There's not really too much to say other than our player board over here. We've got a special mech action or ability. Each individual mech has their own individual abilities, and mine is a nice simple one. So my move range is 1 to 4 locations, so 1 to 4 tiles. Usually your base is 1 to 3, so I can just move a little bit faster than my opponents would normally. And I've got my starter hand here. So I am playing with Anna and Wojciech. So Anna is able to gain a face-up quest card, and these are our face-up cards here. Or we can solve a quest, and I believe that's basically the same for each character. They are very, very similar. So we've got a good number that you randomly distribute to your players. You can basically just pick whatever one you want. They're not going to feel that much different. They just have very slight nuances, and the nuances are usually seen in the companion characters. So Wojciech allows me to rescue an active card or vanquish, and vanquish means you're just taking away corruption that we're going to be seeing on tiles. So much like Scythe as well, the game is sort of like pushed along by the amount of opportunities to boast that you have. So I believe in Scythe, whenever you achieve a certain threshold of something, I think one of them I remember is winning a battle, you are able to put a star down against that achievement, and that sort of speeds the game along, and the game end triggers at, is it 4 stars or 5 stars in Scythe? I can't remember. In Expeditions, the game end triggers when the one player has placed down 4 stars. So we have got 4 stars here that we're going to be putting along our board, and the way that you get stars is you can solve quests. So quests are a type of card. You can meld meteorites. So you want to do 4 of the quests for meteorites. You can upgrade 4 items. You can vanquish a tile with 20 corruption on. So we have a special 20 corruption tile here, which we will be revealing at some point on the map when we reveal location 20. We've obtained 7 different corruption tiles, which we will see later in the game. Another is control 8 different cards. At the moment, I'm controlling 2 cards. There's different ways that you can handle cards in this, which we'll go through. Or you can have 7 workers or 5 exploration navigation tile things. So once we do that, we'll have a look at that again. But you'll see actually over here that the automa has 8 stars. So the end of the game will trigger for him. He will trigger the end of the game if he has achieved his 8th star. We will do it after our 4th. But anyway, we're going to get going. It says to randomly allocate the first player. I ignore that because I need every little edge that I can get in a game. So I'm going to go first. And first of all, I'm going to consider what my strategy is going to be with the face-up cards that we've got out, and what sort of color workers will be activating my cards, because my cards have a little color worker in the left-hand corner at the bottom, and you've got blue, red, green, yellow, and purple workers in this game, and they may activate different cards. So let's have a look what I've got. So Wojciech can allow me to rescue active cards or vanquish, so he's going to be a little bit later on in my go or my round, and Anna allows me to gain a face-up quest or solve. So actually it might be a good idea to have a look at some quests. I've got 2 quest cards out here. So this one would allow me to boast, which is really nice actually. This one allows me to gain power if I have no corruption. But to solve quests, you actually need to visit this location in the right-hand side. So to solve this one, I'd need to be on tile number 3. And tile number 3 is actually in the southern region. So this is over here. So if I got my mech over here, I could take a solve action to solve this quest as long as I had the requirements here, which is 1, what is it? Guile. It's Guile. This one though is a central location, so this one hasn't been revealed yet, but it could still be really good for us. But I think we might actually try and start collating some quests together and try and get a worker that's going to be useful to us. So I want a red worker. So at the beginning of the game, what happens is you are moving this particular cube. So at the moment it's on this refresh icon. So at the beginning, we're going to be following this red arrow to put it in the center. And you'll see that this is connected to all 3 of our actions, which we're going to be taking on this turn and throughout the game. So you've got a move, play a card, and a gather. So because we're actually in this square, we're going to be doing all 3 of those actions, and we can do them in any order. So we can gather wherever, well, actually we can't gather right now because we're off the map. So we're going to have to move before we gather. But we can play a card first and then move and gather or whatever. So I'm gonna actually move first. So I'm gonna move straight from the base camp to the sawmill. And then I'm going to gather. So gather means activate something on your tile that you are on. So I'm going to be grabbing, I think, a red worker. So I can choose a green or a red, and I'm going to choose red. And they just stay on your player map for now. And then I think I'm going to play Anna. So in this game, when you play a card or discard it, you're supposed to put them in order to the right of your player map. I think because I have not got a huge amount of room, I might play them up here, and then any others will go down here. So yeah, we'll do that. When you're playing cards, it's quite important to keep the order the same as when you've actually played the cards. So you have to play them in sequential order and keep them that way, because some cards allow you to interact with your previously played card. So anyway, I played Anna. She's going to sit at the left-hand side. We then gain some benefit at the left-hand side. So this gets stronger and stronger the more stars you have down on your base camp, but we haven't got any at the moment. So we're just going to get 1 power. We've got our power down here. And then I'm going to activate her with this red worker. So I'm going to gain a face-up quest card, and I'm going to take this one here. When you take cards, they go straight into your discard area. So I don't get any benefit from it. I don't get the core benefit, which is at the top left. I'm also not allowed to put a worker on it either. It just has to go straight into the discard. There is a mech that allows you, as a special ability, to put them straight into your hand, which is at your left-hand side, but we can't do it here. Anyway, let's replenish that. And so that is it for us. We have moved our mech, we have gathered a worker, and we've played a card. So then we go over to the automa. They are really, really easy. So it's going to tell us up here that they're going to be progressing along this little mat here, 1 space. This tells us, this modulates how long the game's going to be. So it's going to be ticking along and slowly gaining stars as you go. Then it's going to tell us if it's got 4 stars already. It hasn't got any, so we ignore that. Or it's going to move 3 spaces. So he's just going to go 1, 2, 3. Black is going to move 2 spaces. And that's it. That's so simple. It's not a very interactive automa, but the speed at which it's able to be resolved is brilliant. Okay, so this is now a little bit different. So now we've got to, because we're at the central location here where our cube is on a little square, we actually now have to select one of these actions to cover up. And from now on, we're only going to be able to swap between all of these 3 actions until we refresh our cards and workers. So for example, if I cover up move, I cannot move, but I can play and gather. And the same, if I cover up play, I can move and gather, but not play a card. So I have to choose which one to cover up. On your subsequent turns, you have to then cover up a different one. And only when you choose to push your cube back to refresh do you get to do the big triple action again at some point. So I think I don't really want to play a card right now, because Wojciech's only going to be allowing me to rescue. Oh, he does allow me to rescue an active card. These are my active cards. That could be actually quite good, because I could solve a quest quite early on. But then I don't want to solve quests too early on, because ultimately they're not going to give me that much benefit. I might as well try and use the card as its big benefit at some point during the game. So I think I may actually have a look at gaining a yellow worker, which is right next to me. Yeah, I think so. So I'm actually going to move this to cover play. So I'm going to move and gather. And you could do them in any order, so I could gather before I move if I wanted to. But I'm going to move over here and gather yellow. And that's it. Their turn. Oh God, they are achieving their first star already, because we have moved our cube onto a star space. We just simply take it off and put it on the map. It doesn't do anything else. It just acts as like a marker to remember that they have already achieved 1 star. So again, they haven't got 2 stars, so we ignore that. They move 3. 1, 2, 3. And he is moving 1. That's it. Okay, so let's think about what cards we've got out. They've got quite a few meteorites out, which are looking very nice, actually. What do some of these do? So they allow us to gain a face-up quest to your hand. Interesting. Ooh, and that one allows me, if I've got more meteorites, to gain guile according to quests I control. Ooh, I like that. I like that quite a lot, which means I want another red worker at some point, because this is another red card. Items could be pretty good as well. This is a nice pricey item as well. So the coins, money in this game is victory points. So you don't spend money or anything like that. Any coins you gain are just victory points. So this allows you to vanquish, and whenever you vanquish, first gain the core values of all adjacent face-up cards. Oh, wow. Oh gosh, these are really powerful actually. All right, the other ones are slightly less beneficial for me at this moment, I think. So I think I'm gonna play, and no, where was I? I was covering up play. I'm gonna move and play. So I'm gonna play first, I think. So I'm gonna play Wojciech to gain a guile, and I'm going to play his ability. Rescue an active card or vanquish. I can't vanquish because there's no corruption here, so I'm just gonna rescue a card, and the one I wanna rescue is Anna. So she comes straight back into my hand, and I'll shuffle these guys along. And then I'm gonna move. I think I wanna move back here because I want another red worker at some point. I always, this is a funny balance game. Like at the beginning, I'm just sort of going backwards and forwards between various like bits and pieces. And yet I don't know if I dither around too much because they are zooming along their little tile here. So he's just moving 3 because he's reached the end of the map. He's just going to transport back here. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And this is interesting. So we've got a little mop icon here. So this, he's messing with my plans. They're sweeping. So they are going to be discarding all adjacent cards to them. So he's right in the center of the board and redrawing, which is really annoying because I was trying to get hold of that meteorite. But we'll have a look at what these are in a second. Now he has actually met this criteria. So if the automa has got 1 or more stars, and he does, he's going to be revealing a tile and grabbing the navigation or exploration token. So he is not going to move. He's going to try and do it where he is. If he can't do it where he is, he's going to be looking within range 3 of him. So he is going to just be taking this token and flipping to reveal location number 9. And we're at the warehouse. So we are got 2 options down here. They usually have 2 options or like a bigger, more powerful ability. You'll see that this has a little symbol by it. So that allows you to actually meld meteorites, but it also has a 5+ next to it. That means we are drawing corruption. It's got at least 5 corruption. And in here we've got tokens which have corruption on, or values on, between 3 and 5, and we have guile ones, which are the blue ones, so that's why we are collating guile on our mats, and you've got power, which are the orange ones. So once we have met, here we go, we have to draw until we've got at least 5, so we've got 8 now, and that's all he's going to be doing. So that means we can go to those tiles and start vanquishing, and you can pay 5 power to take away this corruption token, and eventually you'll be able to get down to the bottom, which will allow you to take this action when you go on and gather on that tile. Right, let's have a look at these cards and see what mess they've made now. So we've got another meteorite up there, which is nice, which allows you to vanquish, but that needs a purple worker, and there's no ability to get a purple worker out and about yet. The quest here gains solve benefit of another quest card you control. That's not really going to be great because this one just allows me to boast, and that one allows me to pay. Oh, that's quite nice. That allows me to pay guile to meld meteorites. All right, maybe I should think about that instead then, which means I should have gathered a yellow worker on here. Okay, at this point, I think I'm going to play a card and gather. And I'm going to grab a green worker this time, because I've got this card here, which will want me to have a green worker. Then I'm going to play a card. So I'm going to play Anna again. She gives me 1 power. And I'm going to play this to gain a face-up quest. And I want this one here, I think. Do I want this one? Yeah. Communicate with the beast. But it's like a big Cthulhu monster. I think so. So I'm just gonna, that one's played as well. That's in my discard, but I'm gonna have to just do it in a little line. Oh, wrong pile. I usually have the purple pile over here, so that's why I'm going towards it. Oh, there's another meteorite. I don't like that one. That's gaining money per green cards you control. Ah. Oh my gosh, they're charging ahead. So blue is now sweeping. A scythe and an ether mirror. Ooh, interesting. What I'm looking for, I love the card that allows you to gain points, money from map tokens, so these navigation tokens. I had a strategy where I got that, like, that was one of my first cards that I gained in my game, and I was just charging around the map, gaining money. It was brilliant, and I did win, but not by a huge amount actually. Anyway, they've only got 1 star, so he's just going to be moving 1. He has not got 4, so he's going to be moving 2. My go again. At this point, I've played all my cards, so I could continue to do the play action. You can't choose to not do the action. So if you're unable to do it, it's fine. But if you can do it, you have to do it. So at this moment, if I select to do a play action, it will be a bit of a waste of a turn because I don't have a card to play, and so it's empty. So what I might do is think about refreshing at some point, but let's just try and think about where I want to be going. So I've got a yellow worker, but I think I might want another yellow worker, and that will allow me to meld meteorites. I don't own a single meteorite at the moment. So what's this one? I didn't like that one very much, and they've got rid of the good ones. That's discard a card to gain its core value. And that's gain 1 point per color among cards in hand. Ooh, that's quite nice. So maybe I should try and come up here, grab another yellow worker, come up here, grab a face-up card, refresh to some degree, somewhere along those lines. Because what I could do here is move and gather. I think I'm taking too long again. Let's move, gather. I want a yellow worker. To be fair, one of these abilities down here to put your star down is for 7 workers. I'm already at 4, so maybe I can use that as one of my strategies. And then I'm going to move. Oh, I've moved and gathered. That's fine. Yeah. Oh my god, they've moved every single time. He moves 2. So this one, if he's got 0 or more stars, which he has, he's going to explore him. So they do slowly start to reveal the board, which is really cool. Crater Rim. So that ability down there allows you to upgrade cards, but this one's going to be covered by corruption. Or you can choose to refresh your cards and sweep, which is really cool. So you don't have to take a refresh action. That's a shame actually. If he moved off of that would be really cool to move to. You can't you can move through the automas, but you can't move onto the same spot as them. You have to end your turn on an unoccupied tile, which means there is like an element of blocking in this game. What's this one then? This one allows me to gain a adjacent face-up card. So that's somewhere that I could go instead. I still need to refresh though. Shall I refresh now? No, actually, what I might do, the thing is I want to move and gather, and I can't move and gather again. I have to now play. Okay, I'm going to refresh. So push that there. All I'm doing is taking back my workers, and all of my cards go into my hand. So they're just going to be a big mess right now. I don't feel like I'm getting a momentum going. All right, so the blue automa at the top is actually exploring for the first time. So they tend to do it a lot slower. The ice cave. And the corruption tends to be greater up here. So this is 8 or more. There you go, there's a purple ability. That's how you can get a purple worker. And then black is just going to move 1. I'm just considering that I still haven't managed to get a meteorite, so maybe I should stay away from the meteorite tactic and actually go for items, because we've got a couple of good items out here. I'm eyeing up this scythe, which allows you to gain a worker, but also whenever you gain a worker, gain power, which is really cool. So I may try and grab that one, but that means I also need a blue worker. That's okay. What I'm going to do is move this here. So I'm going to gather. I want a blue worker. See, I'm at 5 now, so 2 more and I could boast for the first time. But maybe I should keep that then to boast. Yeah, maybe I'll keep that back. Boasting, in order to actually, sorry, I don't think I even finished my thought when I was explaining in the beginning. Inside, whenever you meet the criteria of like one of the goals to put your stars out, you just automatically, I believe, put your star out and gain it. In this game, it's not like that. So you have to do a boast action in order to boast about your accomplishments. And the boast action only appears on cards. So I've got one here, which allows me to take a boast action if I have a green worker to activate it. And also it's on under some of these. So like this one here, when you've taken off all this corruption, you can meld a meteorite. Under some of these will be a boast action. So you can gather on that tile to do a boast action and put one of your stars out. So I'm just considering that's not going to appear for a little while. I want to get going on boasting early because boasting powers up your core benefit on your cards. So I don't think I do want to solve. So I'm not going to do what I was going to do. But I will, I think, is there a quest here? Yeah. So I'm going to just move then and play a card. So I think I might play... I'm going to play Anna again. So Anna is going to allow me to gain 1 power. And then I'm going to activate her. And I'm not going to solve because I'm on a location 3. I could solve this one, but I'm not going to yet. I'm going to gain a face-up quest. And I want this quest here. Not that part, not that part. I think so, maybe. Okay. Did I move, play, and gather? Yeah, I gathered, moved, then played. Cool. They have got their 2nd star. Oh my gosh. All right. She's just moving 1 and moving 3. 1, 2, 3. My go again. Okay. So I want that item. So I need to gather, and then I think I might move. Or shall I play? Gather and play. Yeah, let's gather and play. So I'm gathering. This is a face-up card. So I want this one here. I forget it goes in your discard, doesn't it? That's okay. What are we going to do then? That's fine. And then we're going to play Wojciech. for his basic ability. Then I'm going to activate him with this yellow worker to rescue an active card. So I'm going to rescue him. Okay. Yeah, and then that will allow me to play him in a minute. Wow, I've never known them to be so quick in getting their stars. They are moving even more. So he's going to be sweeping. Another meteorite. There's quite a few meteorites coming through. He's just going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. And he's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. He's back on that tile again. It's a nice tile because you get to refresh. All right. So it would be really nice to play this. You know what? We're going to go for this one here, which is the 7 workers. I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to... I want to play and move, I think. So I'm going to play and move. So I'm going to play him to gain a guile and then activate it. And you can, there's like 2 different benefits down here. Not all of them have it, or maybe all items do. I think all items do. So this one down here has an ability that you activate as like a permanent ongoing ability once you've got a worker on it. But also you have an immediate ability up here, which is directly above the icon. So you can choose which way around you want to activate them. So I'm going to place my meeple there, and I'm actually going to activate this right-hand side first, which says whenever you gain a worker, also gain power. And then I'm going to do the one that's at the top, which is gain a worker. So what worker do I want? We're going to come down... I don't know. Red seems to be quite popular. And that's another quest here with red on it. But then we got another blue there. So let's grab a red at the moment. And then I gain a power from doing that because of this ability. And then I need to move. So I think I'm going to come down here and grab a blue worker in a second. And then that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I can look to boast in a minute. Okay, so he is moving along again. So he's got 2 stars, so he's going to be exploring here. Ancient temple. The art is so pretty on all of these. It's a shame really that on one hand the mechs are gorgeous and that they're so big and chunky and they're really beautiful miniatures. But they do cover up quite a lot of the artwork, and so you don't really get to appreciate it that much. Sorry, they have explored there, and then this guy's just moving too. There we go. All right, so I want to gather, and I also want to play. So if I gather and play, yeah, that's fine. Maybe I'll do that. I was going to gain a red. Oh, I did gain a red worker. That's fine. So I was going to gather. I want a blue worker. And then I'm going to play a card, which allows me to get a guile, activate him with this, and then I can boast. So I'm going to boast about my worker. My workforce. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 workers somewhere. And so I can take my first star and stick it on this one here. If you can't see it, I'll just sort of stick it at the top, just in case you can see the top bit. But basically this is 7 workers or 5 navigation tiles. And you're never competing for them. So if a player has already got that one, you can go there as well. It's just about how fast you're gaining them. So the second somebody gets their 4th one, triggers the end of the game and everyone gets one last turn. So this is really good. We've got our first one out, which is fabulous. And now maybe we can look to start solving these quests and doing everything else. Yeah, all right. Let's do, there we go. Oh my god, they haven't had a single card where they haven't like progressed yet. So he's going to be moving 3, 1, 2, 3. He is going to be exploring. Fishing village. That looks like a chaotic fishing village. So there we go. We've revealed a tile that has a boast action on it. So that's nice and good to look out for, but it's covered by corruption at the moment. At this point, I think I need to get my cards back. And so I'm going to do a bit of a cheeky, which is move and gather. So remember, I can move up to 4 because of my big long legs. And so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to gather, which means I can activate this here, which allows me to sweep any cards and refresh. So I think we're not looking at meteorites. So we're going to get rid of these. And anything else? Anything else? He's okay, I think. I like that quest. And he's all right as well. These are both items. Yeah, so we're going to refresh now. So let's take all of these back. And all of you just go into my big pile. That just saves me from doing a refresh action. So there we go. Oh my god, they're nearly at their 3rd star. We need to get a move on. So here, he is going to be exploring because he's got at least 0 stars, but he cannot explore where he is. So he's going to be looking at 1, 2, 3, all of these. And so he's going to just move to this one here and explore the next one along. Mining town. And that's another item upgrade. Okay. I want to get going on some quests, and I think while I'm here, I have got 4 of each type of power and guile, which means I can vanquish all of that and upgrade an item. So I am going to move and play. So I'm going to play a card first. What am I doing? I'm going to play Void Check. So remember, I get the base value here, which is 1 guile. But because I've now boasted, I have 1 star. So I get an extra guile here, which is fabulous. I'm also going to then place this yellow. And it says rescue an active card, or I can vanquish. And if the vanquish removes the location's final corruption, you may gain the revealed benefit. So I'm going to be spending 1, 2, 3, 4 guile to take this corruption, and you keep it. Don't know where to keep it. Let's keep it here. And then I'm going to be paying 1, 2, 3, 4 power to gain this one. So I can now do this revealed benefit, which allows me to upgrade an item. So I'm just going to check I've got no other items I want to do. No. So I'm going to upgrade this item here. So when you upgrade an item, basically it is not in your control anymore. So it's not in your active hand. It's not in your control. It's just a permanent benefit. So just remember that whenever it says rescue an active card, or for however many active cards you have in your hand, it does not mean anything you've tucked under your mat, which we are going to be doing. So we tuck these here, which means we can't see any of the benefits anymore, but this permanent benefit is always going to be active now. So whenever I gain a worker, I can also gain 1 power. And also, remember you can boast once you've upgraded 4 different items. And this item down here is worth 4 coins at the end of the game, 4 points. And then I'm going to move. So where do I want to move to? What's my next goal? Maybe I should look to solve this quest here, although it's all the way over there now, so maybe not. What I could do is solve this quest, because that's over here, by spending 2 guile. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. So I'm gonna move here. I'm just thinking because, or I could do 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I want to explore? No, 1, 2, 3, 4. You cannot move through undiscovered locations like the Automa mechs can. So I would have to stop here. I don't want to stop here, so I'm going to go around the long way because I want to solve next time. There go. All right, so blue is going to be sweeping. I like that one. That was a good item. All right, and then he's going to be just moving. And then black is going to move as well. They completely ignore where you are, so they skip it. It's as if the tile that you're on is not there. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, he's going to be going 1, 2, 3. That's my interpretation of it anyway. It literally says you completely skip over it. Okay, so I think at this point I'm going to play and gather. And I'm going to play Anna. Oh, excuse me. Which allows me to get 2 power. And then I'm going to activate her with the red worker and solve. I think. Yeah, I'm going to solve, which means I'm going to take quest number 9, banish the squatters, and I'm going to pay this at the side here. So 2 guile, is that draw 2 cards from the deck? Yeah, draw 2 cards from the deck and keep 1, place the other in the sweep pile. So I'm going to be grabbing this one, and when you solve a quest, you tuck it under here, and you gain the core value of all of your solved quests. So I gain 1 guile back. And I can draw 2 and see which one I want to keep. So I've got a quest here. I'm just mindful, in a minute I'm going to be drawing, because I'm going to be gathering on this tile, I'm going to be drawing one of these cards. And I was actually eyeing up one of these quests, but I've just drawn 2 quests. You can only solve a maximum of 4 quests, and I've already solved 1, then I've got another 2 here, and I was going to grab one of them. So I don't need 5 quests really, unless the benefit's really good. So this is gain guile per adjacent revealed location, or gain a map from the general supply. That's quite cool. Have we revealed location 14 yet? No. Well, to be fair, I have to take one of these anyway. So I'm going to take this one. And then I'm going to gather, which means I'm going to ignore these quests, and I'm going to gather this item, which is good because then I can gain more points and hopefully boast about my items at some point. You have to go in my discard. So now they have depleted their deck, so what we're going to do is take the 2 we discarded and shuffle the deck and remove another 2. I just realised I haven't replaced that one. There we go, another quest. Wow, all right, so they have got their 3rd star out and about now. I really need to get a move on. Okay, so he has now got 3 stars, so he's going to be looking to take a corruption. So he cannot take corruption from where he is, so he's going to move to somewhere within range 3 and just take the top corruption tile. This guy's going to move 1, 2, 3. All right, we need to move. So how can we move? What can we do to speed things along? Got some quests here that we can solve, but I haven't got another solve action. So maybe look to grab some items which are worth a lot. This is a nice item which is worth 3 points at the end of the game. Just thinking as well, one of these boasting criteria are 8 cards somewhere in your hand or discard pile. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, the quest and the item don't count because I've tucked them under my mat. So that could be an easy thing to boast about quite quickly. So if I manage to, maybe I'll do that. And then I could boast with him in a minute. So I could move and gather. Yeah, look at this. So if I gather here and take a face-up card, oh, they're all quests. It's fine. It's fine. Which benefit is going to be better then? That allows me to upgrade, which could be really, really powerful. I'm going to grab you. Sorry, they don't really matter now. I'm going to place him on top because he's played after. Another quest. We don't need quests. And then I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh my gosh, he's moving again. He does not have 4, so he's just moving 1, 2, 3. And then this guy's moving 2. So I think I will gather and play. So I'm going to gather a face-up card, and I want an item. I don't want any of these quests. So gather you. And then I'm going to play a card. So I have now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. They just need to be in your control, and if they're in your hand or your discard pile, they're in your control. So I'm going to play this Chart a Course North quest, which gives me 1 guile. And then if I put a green worker on it, which you might not be able to see now, I'll tuck all of these up, there we go. Green worker on it, which allows me to boast. So I'm going to place my 2nd star on this 8 card area now. It also says if every opponent is south of you, you gain 2 power. There's no opponents south of me, so I ignore that. But that's now really good because I can now activate my most powerful parts on a lot of these cards. And I've got some easy wins there. I've stayed completely in the south part as well. I should really move north where some more powerful combinations could be probably found. Okay, this blue guy is going to be exploring here. Interesting, got another boast up here in the encampment. Looks very cold in the north. Not sure I want to go up there. It's looking a lot nicer down here in the south. And then this guy down here is trying to gain a corruption. So he's just going to take this 1 tile that he's on. My go again. Oh, okay. I ideally want to get my cards back now because I don't really have anything. This one allows me to meld, but I don't have anything to meld. I don't have a meteorite. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ideally, I want to get over there. Some of these symbols, I've played this a number of times now, and I just don't remember what some of the symbols are. This is play 1 card from your hand. I don't want to play a card from my hand. What do I want to do? I want to sweep really, because all of these quests are annoying. This is quite nice. Tesla pistol. You can vanquish, and whenever you vanquish the final corruption from a location, you also gain a guile and a power. So that's quite cool. Maybe I should refresh then. Shall I refresh right now? And then I can look to solve where I am immediately. Yeah, let's do that. Refresh. We need to start getting some stuff going. Got a nice pile of cards to work with anyway, so that's good. Oh, he's moving again. Moving 2. And then this guy, he's sweeping. Thank you. Thank you. Get rid of these quests. We don't need them. An item. It's only worth 2 though. Meteorite and an item. Worth 2 again. Let's have a look at them in a second. And then he's going to explore within range 3. That's another meld. The weird forest. There's like a weird bear Cthulhu monster again. So I think I want to solve at this point. Yeah, let's start thinning out my hand and getting some things under my belt. I really want some items, but I want pricey items. So this one could be really good, actually. Let's just take it step by step. So let's move that. I'm going to play a card. I'm going to play Anna. So she allows me now to gain 1 power from the core, 1 power from my first star, and my second star also allows me to gain a guile. Then I'm going to activate her with red, and I'm going to solve. So where am I? I'm on location 3. There's no other location 3s here, are there? Oh, I've just realized I've got 2 location 14s. Not that we've got 14 that's out and about yet, but that's quite cool. So location number 3, I can spend a guile to gain a map token, which I don't really want to do, but there you go. I wonder if you have to do that. I'm just going to check the rules. Yeah, so it does list it as it's a cost, so it costs me the guile to do that, but that's fine. And then I can tuck that here and gain the core benefit of all of my quests as per Anna's ability. So I gain 2 guile. So this is nice. I can start maybe vanquishing in a minute. Oh, perfect. Yes. So I've played a card. I'm going to gather. Oh, hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself. I think the last time I played this, I played with the mech, which allowed you to gain all the cards into your hands. So I'm getting all excited, but I can't play them. They go into my discard. But anyway, I'm going to gather here and grab this card, this item. Yeah. And then I'm going to move. There's nothing I can boast about yet. Yeah, we're going to move up here. We're going to move here. So they're played, gathered, and moved. That's good. There you go. Wow, they're on their 4th. They are halfway through. And top guy is grabbing a corruption within range 3. So he's going to move here and grab this one here. And then this guy down here is going to also grab the corruption that he's on. My go. So I wanted to vanquish. Sorry, I didn't replace this again. I've had a little thing in my head about what I was going to be doing. So here we go. I wanted to play. Did I want to play a second card? Yes. Oh no, hold on. How many items do I have? I only have 2 items. Oh, this is cool though. So I'm going to play and gather. So if I yeah, play. Sorry, I'm trying to think about the order of which I want to do things. So he allows me to get the guile core benefit. Then I'm going to activate him with a blue worker. Whenever you upgrade this or another item, you gain 1 coin and a power. But this also allows me to upgrade. So I'm going to upgrade this item right here. Whenever you refresh, you can gain a power or a guile per refreshed worker. And then, so that's gain a coin and a power. And then that is a play action. I'm going to gather. So this allows me to play 1 card from your hand. So I'm going to now play Wojciech. Sorry, you're going to have to go over here. He allows me to get 2 guile, 1 power. I'm going to play yellow on him to allow me to vanquish. So I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3 guile to grab this tile here. And then 1, 2, 3 power to grab this tile here. And it says, if this vanquish action removes the location's corruption, you may gain the real benefit. So I'm going to now upgrade a card. So I can now upgrade one of these items. Oh my god, this is just confusing. That's fine. Let's upgrade this one then. Let's upgrade you. Whenever you vanquish the final corruption from a location, also gain power and guile. This didn't have a worker on, hence why I don't have that benefit, but now I do have it because it's activated as my item. But I have upgraded, so I gain another coin and another power. That was a good turn, I feel. Did I play and gather? I did play and gather. Good, okay. So we're looking reasonably good. We've nearly got our 4 upgrades. We've got 4 corruption. We need 7 to boast about it. I do want to get a couple more quests. So we need to have a look for location 14. And maybe we'll solve the one at location number 1 reasonably quickly. So maybe I'll start making my way down here, solve this one over here, and then push up to the north. Something like that. I'm going to rearrange these items a minute. Okay, there we go. They haven't had a single time where they haven't progressed. This is unheard of. There are cards in this deck that allow you to not progress. Oh, this is annoying. I actually want him to start exploring a little bit more. This guy's exploring all the way over here. They've got a lot of map tokens. They gain points at the end of the game from the map tokens. Research base. Ah, dear. Okay. My go. What's my plan now then? I want to move over this way. Can I move and play? I can. So let's move and play. So what am I playing? I wanted to play this perhaps. Yeah, let's play him. So you guys go up here. I'm playing him to get a guile. Activate him with my green worker, which allows me to gain... Oh, hold on. Hold that thought. I'm going to move first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to play him. So this says gain guile per adjacent revealed location. So this one's revealed, this one's revealed, this one's revealed. So I gain 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's more powerful, that order. Yeah. And then I think I might need to refresh, perhaps. Yeah. All right. There we go. Oh, here we go. They're not progressing. But he is gaining a nice big bundle of corruption. So he's gaining 2 that time. And this guy's moving over that. Oh, I've got so many things I want to be doing all at once. I could have, instead of doing that, I could have upgraded somehow. I can't remember how. I could have gathered there to upgrade, which would have allowed me to do a boast action. I don't know where my boast is now. I think it's under there. All right, let's not worry about that. I think at this point we'll refresh. Yeah, I was just thinking whether I wanted to move up here and do the refresh action, but I think I want the extra benefit of getting the triple next turn. Maybe I can't really plan that far ahead in my brain. But anyway, let's be careful about this because this says somewhere, whenever you refresh, gain power or guile per refreshed worker. So I've got 4 refreshed workers, so I can gain 1, 2, 3, 4 power. Very nice. And take all of you guys back. We're actually very high on the power. I'm just thinking, do I want to seek out location 20 and try and vanquish that? I don't know. Let's think about that next turn. They are charging. And then he's going to take this corruption. And this guy is going to explore this final central location, the impact zone. Oh, that looks scary. It doesn't look very nice. There we go. I can't remember what my plan was now. I was going to solve a quest. So I needed to... What's this one? Gain 1 benefit from an adjacent location. That's annoying. Actually, maybe it's not quite so annoying. Let's move. Let's play. Play Anna to get 2 power and a guile to solve a quest. I'm going to solve this quest here by paying 1 guile to get a blue worker, which triggers whenever you gain a worker, also gain power. I can't gain any more power. I'm already at the maximum 10. So he just goes here. And then because I have completed a quest and her ability is gain the core ability of all quests, so I'm at the maximum here. I need to give him Vanquish. Let's just think. I now have to gather. I've moved and played. What do I want to gather? This is an adjacent ability. I don't think I want to. What does this do? I can rescue 1 active card and the worker on it to your hand. I may as well... Shall I upgrade now? I'm a little bit worried about triggering the end of the game too early. Maybe I should have had it on a harder difficulty. But I can boast about my... If I activate this upgrade, I can upgrade this item here. So I can boast about that. And then I'm only 1 quest away from the max. But that's okay. Maybe I can drag it out slightly and just gain as many points as possible. I am going to do that then. I'm going to upgrade. So let's upgrade this guy as well. This is, if you're not following along, this is my gather ability from this tile, which means I can gain 1 benefit from an adjacent location, and I'm picking this location, and because of the corruption that's been removed, I can upgrade. So this says, whenever you upgrade this or another item, I can gain 1 coin and a power. I'm already at max power. I think that was good. So I moved, I played, and I gathered. All right. So if I could go and boast about that somewhere. Yeah, all right. Let's just do their good turn. He's gonna move 1, 2, 3. You're gonna move. You've fully explored, so he's just gonna move now and sweep as he goes along. At this point, I want to vanquish stuff, but I'm hoping to get location 20. So I'm a little bit worried about... Let's move and gather first. I don't want to waste this. So do I want to gather? I don't know. I don't know. Let's just move and gather. So I don't want to gather that. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And really... Oh, that's my token, not his. Oh, I was hoping it's going to be location 20 with the 20 corruption. It's the observatory. I don't really want to gather here, but oh well. Gaining another map. The maps don't technically really do anything, but I have had a card before which allows me to gain money from gaining maps, so it can be a really strong strategy, but you have to wait for the appropriate cards to come out. And I can't see a single card that will allow me to do anything with them right now. It also is one of the criteria that you can boast about, but I haven't taken that when I did the workers. All right, he's got his 5th star. And he's going to be sweeping. Still looking over there for the card pile. More quests and meteorites. 1 point per active card. So it could be worth trying to collate some of these and just triggering them. He's going to be exploring then. So he's going to be exploring. No, he's going the wrong way. He's going to be exploring here. Sometimes I try and because they go in opposite directions, and I'm not I'm not always with it enough to realize that top one's going that way, the other one's going this way. It even tells you on the thing, but yeah, I get confused. It's just me. It's very simple, but I get confused with a lot. All right, and then this guy is just going to go 1, 2, 3. Did I take my other map token? I don't think I did. There we go. There's my map. Sorry if I did. They're not going to be worth anything at the end of the game. Or if I'm going to take a chance. There's a 50% chance that the 20 is going to be here. 50% chance it's going to be here. So I'm going to move and play. So hope that it's the nice 20. It is not. However, there is a nice boast action under it though, so that's really good anyway. Stormy Sea. Maybe we'll just take that as a win. So move, and then I'm going to play a card. So I'm going to play void check. So I can't gain anything, so all of this is ignored right now, but I'm going to play his ability, which allows me to vanquish. So I'm going to pay 1, 2, 3 to get rid of that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get rid of that. There's something down here. Whenever you vanquish the final corruption from a location, also gain 1 power, 1 guile. I can get a guile back. And then, so I can boast about something, and I'm going to boast about my fabulous upgraded items. So I've got one thing left to boast about. I can choose to boast about quests. Once I've solved my 4th one, I just realized, yeah, I was on location 14, so I could have solved there instead. What I might be trying to be cheeky and gain a few more points instead. Because I really like that. What was that meteorite? Gain 1 per active card. That could be really cool. All right, anyway, let's think about that on their turn. This guy is going to explore the very final tile over here. And it's the 20, Tarkovsky's Lair. So instead of drawing out the bag, we've got our nice big fat 20 tokens. Pop on there. And now this guy, we've got 5 stars, so he's going to be triggering like a much faster end game. So he's going to start to take more corruption and stuff now. So I don't know whether to dither around too much or whether that's just a bit silly. What is this here? This is gain a benefit from an adjacent location. I want to take a face-up card. How can I take a face-up card? Okay, we are going to move and gather. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, gather, so I can sweep. Let's get rid of you guys and you guys. More quests, more quests. Got a meteorite. Ah, here we go. So you gain 1 point per map, but maximum of 3. That could be good though. And then I get to refresh. So I can take these 2 back into my hand. And then what does it say? What does it say? What does it say? Whenever you refresh, gain power or guile per refreshed worker. So I gain 2 back. My plan is to try and solve up here now. So then at least I've got my 4th quest. And then if I can, what was I going to do? Where was that action? What I really wanted to do, I could come over here first, grab this card, solve boast, all of that stuff. Okay, I've got a plan. I've got a plan. He's moving. He's sweeping. Don't you sweep my nice things away. You dare. And then all he's doing now is moving. No, yes, because he's trying to explore that. He's fully explored. So he's going to try and gain some corruption. So he's going to come over here and take this one. I want to move and gather, but I can't. So I'm going to have to... Oh, I don't know. This is where it gets tricky because you've already covered up the action that you want to do. I could move and... I need to gather, sorry. I need to gather. I can't gather. There's literally no way for me to gather. That's fine, I'll just have to take a rest. So I'm gonna move and play instead then. 1, 2, and play a card. What's gonna be better? I wanna try and keep you guys because I need you. So let's play this guy to gain a guile, and I can activate him to gain a guile per adjacent revealed location. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've got so many good things that I could do. So many good things I could do. All right, let's shuffle them in. So this guy is trying to get this corruption. They've got quite a lot of corruption now. 1, 2. What was my plan? Okay, we're gonna gather and move. So I want this card. I think. I've probably really screwed it up now. Then move. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think. Okay, gonna go with that. He's moving on, he's sweeping. And just moving 1. Lucky, because he was going to block my spot. This guy is going to grab some corruption. Oh, I was going to go and... it's fine, it's fine. I know what I'm doing. Not. All right, I want to now... Hang on, let's... What do I do? What do I do? I want to play and move. Oh, that little bugger is right in the way. What was I on? I was on play and move and gather, wasn't I? Do I want to play and gather? No. Oh, I don't know. There's so many different things I want to do. I can't do it all, I don't think. So, you know what? You know what? We're going to play and move. We're playing him, Anna. The only thing we can gain is the guile. And I'm going to solve a quest, which means I'm on location 14. I'm going to solve this one that's active. When you solve a quest that's active, any workers just come back onto your mat. So I don't actually gain anything from this because I would gain 4 guile, but I'm at the max. Then I'm going to move. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. He is going to grab some corruption. So he's going to come over here and grab 2. There's literally no corruption hardly on the board now. And this little guy is coming over here. Okay, I want to move. No, I want to play. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I doing? There's so many things I'm trying to do. Do I want to trigger the end of the game now? Yes, I think so. So if I play and gather, what does that mean? Activate an adjacent face-up card's ability. None of them are particularly useful, but that's fine. Let's play first. So I'm going to play Void Check. All of that stuff doesn't matter, but I can vanquish. I'm going to pay all of this. So the 20 is 20 power and 20 guile. So I'm going to take that, which allows me to boast. So I can activate an adjacent face-up card's ability. I don't think I'm going to, because none of them are going to help me, so I'm going to ignore it. But I am going to boast about my... I can boast about multiple things now, but I'm going to boast about my 20 value corruption. Yeah, this is where it's gone a little bit AWOL, so I'm gathering. But I don't need to gather anything, or don't want to, so I'm going to ignore that. But I did vanquish my final corruption, so I gained 1 power and 1 guile. There you go. So I've triggered the end of the game, because I've placed my 4th one, so they gain 1 go now, and then I get final go. So have I done it right as well? I think I have, so that's good. So they've got their 6th star. That's annoying. And then this is lucky actually, because if I didn't go there, what he's going to be doing now at 6 stars, the top guy is going to try and get that 20 token, but I've already got it. So he's just going to move 1, 2, 3. And this guy is sweeping. And then he's going to move 1. So my final turn, I can do it in multiple ways, but I think the best way would be to move and gather. So I can move over here to gain 2 coins, which is 2 points at the end of the game, and gather, which is meld a meteorite. So I can meld this, which allows me to gain 1 point per map. So I've got 4 maps. It does say maximum 3, so I gain a nice 3. When you meld, it just says tuck a meteorite you control under your mech map to gain the benefit on all melded meteorites. But this is my first melded meteorite, but it has got me a nice few points at the end of the game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything. Oh, that sped up quite a lot at the end of the game. So we're just going to have a look at final points. Scoring is actually really nice and simple in this game. So you just have a look down on this map, and actually I might move it up so we can see what we're doing. There we go. So here are my stars. That's theirs. So to score, it's very easy. All you do is have a look down on this map here. So we are scoring as per these 4 boxes. So per coins at the end of the game that we've gathered. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this is a threshold. So if you've got 0 quests solved at the end of the game, each of your stars that you've managed to put down on the board is worth 5. If you've got 1, they're worth 6, 2, they're worth 8. And if you've got 3 or more solved quests, we have 4 solved quests. Each of my stars is worth 10. So I've got a nice big fat 40 there. Then we have a look at our upgraded items. So our upgraded items are these ones here, and so they have a coin value in the corner. So I've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 from that. And then finally, all of your corruption is worth 2 coins each. And the 20 is also included in that. So that's just worth 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So 75 points. So that's really not too bad. What are they getting? So once again, it's really easy. You take their little like level, whatever level you're playing on card, and it tells you at the bottom. So per a navigation token, they gain a coin. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then per corruption token, they gain 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. And then finally, per star they've got is worth 4. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 4 is 24. And so they've got 62. So 75 against their 62. So that is a win. I think I should have probably played it on level 3. I was just a little bit nervous to film at the same time as trying to like do a difficulty level that I hadn't done before. So that's why I didn't choose the level 3 today. But level 2 is the one that they introduced to you as, and as you get more familiar with the game, it's easier to find those combinations and get higher scores. So anyway, that is Expeditions. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I hope you'll join me in a minute as I go through my final thoughts on what I think of the game. So speaking about what I think of Expeditions, as I said at the beginning of the game, I sort of went into this with a little bit of background as to how Scythe played, and as much as I enjoyed Scythe, it was never a game that I sort of was seeking out to purchase. I enjoyed the world it was building, but I just felt that from a solo perspective and a two-player perspective, there's other games for that price point that I thought were out there that were just a little bit better. And it was just a huge box as well, so it takes up a lot of space. So it was just never one that really grabbed my attention as much as I enjoyed it. It's a very good game. And so I went into this one thinking along the same lines. I think it's going to be pretty good. I just wasn't sure how strong it would be solo or two-player perspective, and how I would basically feel overall. Now, because I played Scythe so long ago, I don't necessarily have like the freshest memory of how Scythe plays and how it feels. However, I can definitely identify like the feeling that I got from playing Scythe, and this is definitely pulled into this game. This is advertised as a Scythe sequel, so ultimately it is going to have elements of Scythe in there, but I think it's quite a different game. But I just have a basic feeling, as you could definitely tell it's in the same universe. You could definitely tell it's taking aspects of that game and pulling it into a very compact, streamlined experience. But if you are expecting when you think of a sequel, in my head, it's like building on what's already there. I think this is stripping back rather than building. So I think you may be disappointed if you go into this looking for a direct, bigger, better Scythe sequel. This is set in the Scythe universe with elements and feelings of Scythe, but is a different game. Now, that's not to say that I don't like that. I think this is a really fun game, but it has sort of actually taught me that maybe engine builders are not where my passion lies in board gaming. I've got a few things to say about it, and this is all sort of just, this isn't scripted at all, so I want to try and like get everything I want to say out. But I think ultimately this is a very long-term planning game. You can find short wins and short triggers like I do. That's how I play the game. But I think that this one is solely engine building. There is nothing more here. There's no more meat to it here than just pure engine building. And so I think I miss out a little bit on the extra narrative and story and other elements that I usually see in gameplays, whereas this one is solely focused on that streamlined engine building aspect. So I think that that's just awoken in me a realization that I like engine building, but I don't necessarily want to only be engine building in a game. I find it quite difficult to plan 3 or 4 turns in ahead, or hold that information in my head at the same time as trying to plan like how your actions are going to be working. I find that quite challenging. And challenging it in my brain doesn't work that way, not just, oh, I like this challenge and it's really good to try and see that through. So this is a it is a very, I want to say, it is a seamless experience of engine building, and that is all you're getting. Now, I don't want that to come off to sound negative. I have been really, really enjoying my time with Expeditions. It's just enjoying it in a way that I've not really enjoyed games before. So I can sit down on an evening and think about what I'm playing on an evening, and I don't automatically go, I can't wait to get to Expeditions this evening. I don't have that innate excitement that I do with other games, which I think is relying on the fact that there's no narrative here, and it is just pure engine building at its core. But that's not to say that I don't enjoy that aspect. What it's doing very, very well. It's really interesting that all of these aspects are tying together so intricately, and this is ultimately a really big race, but at the same time, as you can see here, I was trying to drag the game out just slightly longer to eke out those extra points. This engine building is so streamlined, and everything you're doing is so powerful. And it's very satisfying when you do manage to trigger those combos. I never managed to trigger massive combos, but it's so rewarding when you do. I also really enjoy the questing in this game. So even though you're like, oh, questing, it's really exciting and thematic, it's really not. You just go to a location, spend some resources, and get something else. But what I really like is how intricately linked that is to your final scoring. Because as you can see, when you get 0 quests, if you haven't solved any quests throughout the game whatsoever, you're basically gaining the minuscule amount of points per star you've got on the board. So in your mind, you're like, okay, well, quests are super, super important. But also, when you actually look at the strengths of all the other things that you're trying to be doing, they're all equally gaining you a really good number of points. So your meteorites are going to be triggering all of these big bonuses every time you meld, which is going to give you a maximum of 3 coins per time you do it. So the final time you could be just scoring 12 points automatically, which is just huge. So as much as I don't necessarily sit down and get really excited about playing this game, I absolutely get lost in the hour of gameplay when I do sit down, and it pulls you in and makes you constantly engaged. I also really enjoy how all of the tiles are working as well. There's quite a few things that I do think work really well in this game, like when you're going around all the tiles and exploring them. I really, really enjoy the fact that what you're wanting to do to gain all of these benefits is hidden until later in the game. So you're going around and looking for these meld actions, so you're melding your meteorites, but you can't meld yet because all that corruption is there. So I really enjoy all of those aspects. This game is very multi-layered in how you achieve your goals, but you're not also completely streamlined into that one thing. So there's multiple ways of being able to meld meteorites as well. You may get cards which allow you to do it. So if you're blocked out from doing one thing, look for another way to achieve your goal. And there is a big deck of cards in this game, so there is going to be an element of you're trying to find a certain card you know is there, or you're not seeing quests that you particularly need. And so there is always going to be that aspect there of luck and who's going to get some good combos going. But there are multiple ways of achieving what you want to do, and you just need to think a little bit more outside the box if what you're seeing is not routinely obvious. I also really like, building on what I just said, the fact that the corruption does cover the actions a lot of the time. And so I can often get caught in a little bit of a loop in a game where I'm seeing oh, I really want to solve this quest so I can enhance the ability of all of my self quests even more. Sorry, not my self quests. Solve my quests so I can enhance the ability of all of my other core values on all of my other cards. But your ability to solve is hidden by something else. You don't even solve on the map. Melding may be hidden, so you can't meld until you've vanquished, and you can't vanquish because you haven't got the card to vanquish. It's very, very clever, and this is engine building at its finest that I've seen, in its purest form that I have seen in a game. And yeah, it's a very, very crunchy, satisfying, multi-layered, exciting experience when you get into it. Just on the off, it's not one that automatically draws me in. So I do want to sort of talk about the theme and how ultimately I I really feel about that, because I just feel that this is a bit of a missed opportunity in terms of the world it's building. Like Scythe, everything down to the artwork, the board, these tiles here as well in Expeditions, the artwork is really, really nice. The mechs look stunning. The card artwork is really, really good as well. The mats look really great. So it's building this like idea of this world. And what I particularly like about it as well, I was thinking about this morning, is I was trying to think, like, what do I find so interesting about this world? Because it's not really my sort of thing. I'm not really like a war person anyway, and this is like set in like World War II era-ish. Was it World War One? I don't know, one of the World War eras, and it's very like futuristic-y type. It's mechs and stuff. It's not really my typical thing. I'm very much, you know, nature and creatures and all of that stuff. But I think what is quite attractive about it is that it's very realistic, in terms of a lot of the time you can have fantasy games where you have your dragons swooping down and your goblins that you're fighting and all of that. And I enjoy that very much, but it's more hard to empathize with that character or what world you're building. Whereas this is exceedingly realistic in terms of an idea of an alternate reality. There is no reason why humans couldn't build these mechs and go marching around the landscape right now if we wanted to. So all of the artwork that I'm seeing, it makes me feel like in the UK, we have National Trust, which is a charity which buys up all of these very old periodic houses, very big mansions, and injects money into them to try and make them like tourist attractions and to try and salvage them because they go into ruin otherwise. And a lot of the time they have like artwork, original artworks up in furniture, so you can go around and look at all of that. This artwork in this game makes me feel like I'm going to a National Trust house and going through their dining room and looking at snapshots of history. It's so believable that this could have been like real and so it feels so accessible into the world it's building. And so I think that is why it's so captivating, and the theme is so captivating and interesting. I want to know more about what these expeditions are that I'm going on. I want to know more about this quest that I've just solved. And so I feel like this game ultimately is such a missed opportunity in building that world and progressing that world even further. Ultimately, there is just no theme here whatsoever. So no matter how pretty everything looks and how great the world is building, you're not doing anything other than triggering this, triggering that, gaining a couple of coins, which you can't spend either. So I don't know why they've gone down the coin route, I guess, to pull the theme in from Scythe. It's just, I wish there was more here. What I wish is that, and I know a lot of you will roll your eyes, I want a campaign. I really do want a campaign. I want like a snippet of story, and then it gives me a small goal, and I want to then play the game and try and achieve that small goal. And I can only progress to the next part of the story once I've achieved that goal. I then want to read another snippet of the story as to what's happening now. Build that world for me. Let me fall into this universe. And it doesn't. There is an achievements sheet, which is really fun. I personally, because this game is taking up so much space, I don't have it out. And so it's just a bit of a shame because it's just in the box and forgotten about. And so I think that would help bring this game to life a little bit more. But yeah, ultimately it needs an expansion where it builds that into it even more to make this less of a dry engine builder into more of a full gaming experience. And then going off of that as well, I feel like I'm very negative. I really enjoy this game, and I'll go into multiplayer as well in a second. But another slight confusing aspect for me, I'm not sure if it's negative, I'm not sure if it's not, but this is a big game. This box is like a real chunky box here. It's, you know, you look at it on the shelf and you would be thinking, yeah, this is definitely a sequel to Scythe, you know, slightly slimmer in box, but in terms of like width, it's huge. And everything is very large. So all of the tiles are very large. You've got your standard deck of cards, which is normal card size. The mechs are very big as well. Miniatures, they're very chunky miniatures. And on one hand, I absolutely understand why they've done that, because it's visually stunning. Like, you can see all the artwork really clearly. It's really nice. It's nice to have the cards the size that they are, because there's quite a lot of information on them. The mechs are really satisfying to like clonking around all of the area. Absolutely understand that, and it looks great. But I don't think there's quite enough game here to warrant the space that it's going to be taking up on my shelf. It's huge, and I just, looking at it, and what I sort of went into this reasonably blind. I expected more from it for the size that it is. And so I'm conflicted, because on one hand, I absolutely appreciate the beauty of it and how it looks on the table. And because if you did actually have it any smaller, because of the way that the game works with your cards in the middle of your locations, you couldn't really afford the tiles to be much smaller. Otherwise, you'd have to downsize the cards into non-standard size cards as well. And then it's going to be more and more difficult to read all of that stuff. So I absolutely get that. And, you know, the mechs themselves look really great, the size they are. It also lends itself to like miniature painting. But the other hand, I think it could have been downscaled a little, because then I think it would be more inclined to sort of fit in line with other games of its similar scope. And also the price point is very much that of a complex Kickstarter type thing. When you're going in for the base pledge on a Kickstarter, this is the price point that you would sort of expect to pay, maybe a little bit more even. And so I'm conflicted here in terms of I love the production value. I just don't know whether it's value for the production. And I'm sure it is. I just don't know whether I would have gone down the route of making it quite so deluxe. I think for what it's trying to achieve and what it does achieve, it could have been a scaled down experience. So multiplayer, I've played this one once with my husband, 2-player, and we had a really, really great time. I think I actually prefer this one multiplayer to solo. It was interesting to sort of play, because I think it was quite early on when I hadn't played it very much, so I wasn't like a huge head and shoulders above his ability. He's very quick at picking up lots of games, and so we were quite evenly matched. In the beginning of the game, we were both dithering around a reasonable amount, and then we like pushed into the trying to get your stars down as quick as possible. I really like that when you play multiplayer, you are very much regulated by how fast or slow your other players are going. And ultimately that really helps to like push you into feeling like streamlining your gameplay instead of dithering. I really like the pacing of it. I think that's done really well. And then going to the Automa is just brilliant. If you're looking for like a really lifelike experience of playing a multiplayer game, then this sort of Automa is not going to be what ticks that box for you. But in terms of ease of gameplay, it's one of the most simple Automas I have run. And, you know, the iconography is reasonably simple once you know what it is. There are, on the Automa cards, it's very simple. I absolutely understand what it's doing at all times. And I know I don't even have to look at the rule book anymore. Everything's very smooth. You know exactly what you're doing. Some of the iconography on the board itself, I guess maybe because you're not seeing it so often, it's just a little bit confusing. So some of the card ones, like you've got your card which represents drawing from the deck, you've got your card which represents drawing from the face-up cards, you've got your active card, like there's just so many. And I have a little player aid that I use. It's double-sided, it's very useful. So as long as you've got those, you're okay. But I think it could have been a little bit more streamlined there. But 2-player experience is a really fantastic time. And some people have said that the map is quite large, and so they felt at 2-player it was a little bit lacking. I certainly didn't feel that. I don't see the benefit of going charging around the map too quickly. And at 2-player, you're just slowly progressing into the upper areas at your own pace. And I think that's particularly fine. I find it absolutely fine. I don't find that an issue at all. So just talking about the Automa a little bit more, there are 5 difficulties that come out of the box, which is fabulous. They recommend you start on level 2, which is what we played today. But there is a level 1, and I actually started on level 1 for my first game, and I absolutely swept them under the rug. So that is for like non-gamers, I would probably say, if you've never played an engine building game before, but otherwise the level 2 is a certainly solid starting point. And then I haven't had a win at level 3 yet, but that's going to be, I think, probably where the sweet spot for most gamers is. Then you've got 4 and 5 as well. The only differences between them, you play with the same stack of cards. They are just going to be shortening the game, essentially. So they're going to be gaining more points for their things that they gather, so more points for their tokens, I would assume anyway. I think so. So for example, level 5 is going to be scoring 2 points per navigation token. Some of the harder ones gain 2 points for their corruption, and a lot of them gain 5 points for the number of stars. But the level 5 achieves his 8th star after like a very small number of rounds, whereas the other ones are much slower paced. So it just adjusts the pacing of the game, how fast it's going to go, how quick you need to get your stars down and achieve your goals, essentially. So really fantastic job on the Automa. They get in the way, they block your spaces, they're a pain in the backside, and they gather things that you want to gather. So, and it's super simple to run. So in terms of playing a simple Automa, it does its job perfectly. So I think I will leave that one there for Expeditions today. So thank you very much to Stonemaier Games for providing me with this copy and allowing me to play this game. It is a funny one. Like, on one hand, I'm really, really enjoying this experience, and every time I play it, I am completely sucked in and engrossed. It's just not one that in my head I'm excited to get to the table, but that's not unusual. There are other games, like I can think of one at the top of my head. Underwater Cities is another one that I really have a great time with when I play. Again, that's engine building, so maybe I'm just a little, you know, not the keenest on overall big engine building games. But both of these games, I just find you need to get down and play it to enjoy it, and otherwise it will sort of stay on the shelf and not really be pulled off so much often. And coupled with the fact that it takes up a lot of space as well, bit of a strange one, but it's a really solid engine building game, and if you like engine building, I can see this being an absolute blast to play for you. So that is Expeditions. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel, and you will be let know of any future releases that I do. Otherwise, have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.